Hey, it's Philae, and you're watching Philae TV, the ultimate YouTube channel. I'm a cinematographer, just a dude with a camera. All right, today on the GEARHEAD Gardener, we are again looking at loquat. As you know, I've been growing loquat rootstock. I'm going to show you how we're going to take a ratty old tree like this and turn it into some bonsai stock. Something you're interested in? Let's get started. Okay, as you know, I love trees. I work with all kinds of different trees, and I love loquat. So here is a little area I've been growing some of my loquat stock. And I even have my big tree that needs pruning. And I'm going to take one that looks similar to this, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make some pre-bonsai stock out of it. Just by trimming it up, wiring it down, and then we're going to let it regrow. So this loquat I've been working on for a number of years. As you can see, I've got a nice little movement going on to the trunk, and it's been chopped a couple of times. I've even tried air layering off of this, but I didn't have any luck. But you can see I got a lot of branching going on. And this thing, you can see how charred it is from the summer heat. It's been sitting back here getting as little sun as possible because these leaves do just scorch. And you can see some of the residual damage on my big my big loquat. Okay, so the idea is we're going to go ahead, get myself out of the shade there. My idea is we're going to go ahead and cut this down again. You can see I've taken some cuts off of here just because they were drooping over, but I'm going to go ahead and bring it really short down here. And then we're going to try and wire some of these out and see if we can get some kind of look to this. All right, stay tuned. More on loquat trees. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this up quite high because I'm not going to use any of this branching here on the top. So I really can't see what's going on. I'll leave that one. And then we're going to go ahead and take off all the dead leaves, which just pop right off. And you can see as soon as you cut the tips, they will start growing back immediately. Again, if we look at where I just cropped these, you can see that it just immediately starts growing back. You can see how well this grows back here. As soon as you cut it off, it branches off nicely. Okay, so I've cut this down as far as I wanted it to go. You can see all this is all new growth from the last time I cropped it, which was just a few weeks ago. So I've taken it down to the height I want because I want this to grow kind of bushy here. Some of these I might shorten them after I wire it up. And all I'm going to do is just move a couple of branches so it kind of fans out a little bit, you know. But if you see the root structure, it's got some good nabari going on, even for a loquat tree. And I put it in this bigger pot to kind of just strengthen it up. And so far, it's doing really well. So I'm going to give this a couple more weeks, let this go ahead and leaf out on the top here. Let's see what happens. All right, these branches are quite heavy, and I want to tie them down, and just wire isn't going to do it, so I'm going to have to reuse some guy ropes or wires from here to here. I'm going to do that on these two larger branches. We're just going to try and move them a little bit like this to kind of spread it out.
all we want to do is kind of fan it. So to make it nice and easy, I'm going to go and drill a hole in the pot here. And the same thing about here. So I'm just using some of this green gardening, cord. And this is nothing that's going to be permanent or for show, but I just need to give this a good tug to bring it down here. So I'll go ahead and feed this through the hole that I drilled, if I can see it. Okay, so all I gotta do is guide this through the hole, and as I tighten it up, it'll get me to where I want to be. And I don't want to go too far on this. Or pull it this way. So I may do is just keep giving this a little bit more attention every couple of days, because my idea is I want to get it as lateral or as horizontal as possible. And of course you want to make sure you're not putting too much pressure on these nodes. But I'm going to wrap the very end of this and try and work the end to come back up, but it will do it naturally on its own. And this thing, it's why it's also too in this big pot, because it makes it nice and sturdy. And then all of these are going to point straight up. Each one of these branches have one that's going to point up. And then we're going to have ones growing from here. So we're going to get that apex fan broom handle that I'm going to try and achieve here. Let's see how that looks. Nice. Now, I want to try and get a little bit of movement to these as well, but I may just crop them off a little bit lower and let those shoot out from there as these continue to grow up. All right, that's it for this one. And this is where I have my LOQUAT tree. Is tied down with some guide ropes, and it's just going to sit here and spend the rest of the fall here, and then we're going to wire it and trim it. And then just before springtime, what we're going to do is we're going to repot this into something smaller, trim the roots and flatten them. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. Gearhead Gardener. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. Ciao.